Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into the wacky, the wonderful, the downright strange lives of US presidents, specifically the 32nd to the 42nd president, because let's be honest, the Oval Office has seen its fair share of quirks over the years, and look, you might think you know your presidents, the faces on the money, the names in the history books, but trust me, behind those serious portraits and momentous speeches are stories that'll make you do a double take. We're talking about hidden talents, unexpected hobbies, and, dare I say, encounters with the truly bizarre. Because, as we all know, history is just as much about the footnotes as it is about the headlines. So buckle up, grab your presidential trivia hats, and get ready to have your mind blown. Because we're about to uncover the weird, but true side of some of America's most powerful leaders. Let's go. We begin our journey with the man who navigated the Great Depression and World War II, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, or FDR as he's often called. Now, FDR was known for his fireside chats, those intimate radio addresses that brought comfort and leadership to millions. But FDR also understood the power of new mediums, and in 1939 he did something truly groundbreaking. He became the very first president to appear on television. That's right, before newsreels and Kennedy debates, FDR brought the presidency into the living rooms of a select few Americans. The occasion? The 1939 World's Fair in New York City, a dazzling showcase of the future. And what better symbol of that future than the president himself, speaking from a tiny screen, a flickering image heralding a new era of communication. Of course, television was in its infancy then, a far cry from the high-definition extravaganza we know today. But FDR's willingness to embrace this new technology speaks volumes about his forward-thinking nature and his understanding of the evolving media landscape. Our next presidential protagonist, Harry S. Truman, is a testament to the unpredictable nature of history. Thrust into the presidency following FDR's death in 1945, Truman led a nation on the brink of victory in World War II. Before this, Truman ran a men's clothing store, served in World War I, and had a deep passion for music. Yes, Harry S. Truman was a skilled pianist. He practiced diligently and even dreamed of a musical career. Imagine President Truman entertaining dignitaries with Chopin instead of negotiating treaties. While he chose politics, his love for music never faded. He often played for guests at the White House, finding solace in music. It's a reminder that even those in power have passions outside politics. Think of Truman not just as a president, but as a man who found joy in music. So, we tend to think about Eisenhower as this, stoic general, a man of action, not necessarily a man of deep feeling, but you guys, Eisenhower was a surprisingly talented artist, shockingly good. And it wasn't just some passing hobby. He really got into it, particularly after he suffered a heart attack in 1955. His doctors encouraged him to find calming activities, and painting became a major source of relaxation and, dare I say, joy for him. Can you imagine this guy, who led the Allied forces in World War II, carefully choosing his brushes and mixing his paints? It just goes to show you that even the most serious, battle-hardened figures often have hidden depths. And Eisenhower dove deep into this artistic side, producing over 250 paintings during his lifetime. He painted landscapes, portraits of his family, and even still lifes. Now you might be thinking, okay, but was he actually any good? And the answer, my friends, is surprisingly, yes. His work has been exhibited in galleries and museums, and some people even collect it. His style was generally representational, meaning he tried to depict things realistically. Think more Grandma Moses, less Picasso. He wasn't trying to be some avant-garde revolutionary of the art world. He just genuinely enjoyed the process of creating. And you know what? Good for him. Being president is a stressful job, and everyone needs a way to unwind. For Eisenhower, it was picking up a brush and losing himself in a canvas. It's a good reminder for all of us, really, that it's important to have outlets for our creativity and to find things that bring us joy, even amidst the chaos of life, or, leading the free world. Alright, let's talk about JFK. Now, this guy was known for many things. His charisma, his eloquence, his tragically short presidency. But one thing you might not know about him was his superhuman reading speed. Seriously, this dude could devour books faster than a hungry teenager at a buffet. We're talking 1,200 words per minute, people. To put that in perspective, the average person reads at around 250 to 300 words per minute. Imagine being able to finish your entire reading list for the semester in an afternoon. That's the kind of reading superpower Kennedy possessed. And it wasn't just skimming, either. He retained what he read, often engaging in detailed discussions about complex topics, pulling information from his mental encyclopedia built by speed reading. It's basically the ultimate life hack, if only we could all unlock it. So how did he do it? Well, Kennedy believed that most people read inefficiently, wasting time on unnecessary eye movements and subvocalization. He trained himself to read multiple words at a glance and to minimize internal vocalization. Basically, he was like the Olympic athlete of reading, constantly pushing the limits of what was possible. And this skill served him well, especially in the world of politics where information is power. He could consume massive amounts of intelligence reports, policy papers, and news articles, allowing him to stay informed and make quick, informed decisions. It's kind of mind-blowing, right? It makes my brain hurt just thinking about it. But hey, maybe there's hope for us yet. There are actually speed reading courses and techniques out there, so maybe, just maybe, we can all channel our inner JFK. Okay, buckle up because we're about to talk about Lyndon B. Johnson, a man known for his, shall we say, unconventional leadership style. And by unconventional, I mean he liked to conduct meetings while sitting on the toilet. Yes, you heard that right. The Oval Office apparently wasn't the only office LBJ used for, well, official business. He was notorious for inviting aides, advisors, even senators into the bathroom while he, took care of business. Now, before you write this off as just another weird president quirk, there might have been a method to LBJ's, madness. He was known for being incredibly persuasive, some might even say intimidating, and this tactic, which became known as the Johnson treatment, was certainly one way to keep people on their toes. Imagine being ushered into a meeting with the most powerful man in the free world, only to find yourself awkwardly standing around a bathroom, the president's booming voice echoing off the tile as he discusses matters of national importance. It's enough to make anyone sweat, right? And that was kind of the point. LBJ believed in projecting an aura of dominance, and what says I'm in charge more than casually discussing foreign policy while answering the call of nature. Of course, this approach wasn't exactly subtle, and it definitely rubbed some people the wrong way. But hey, you can't argue with results, right? And LBJ was nothing if not effective in getting what he wanted. So, the next time you're feeling stressed about a big presentation or a job interview, just remember LBJ and his unique approach to power dynamics. It might just give you the confidence boost you need, or, maybe just stick to a power pose. Richard Nixon, the 37th President of the United States, is a man of many contradictions. He's remembered for his intelligence, his political savvy, and of course the Watergate scandal that forced him to resign from office. But did you know that this complex figure was also a huge, and I mean huge, football fan? Nixon's love for football wasn't just some casual pastime, it was a deep-seated passion. He even suggested a play to the Redskins coach, George Allen, which was used in a game. So the next time you picture Richard Nixon, don't just think of Watergate. Picture him with a playbook, eyes gleaming with strategic brilliance. Gerald Ford, the 38th President of the United States, is often remembered for his pardon of Richard Nixon, and his efforts to heal a nation divided by the Watergate scandal. But before he was President Ford, he was Jerry Ford, the fashion model. Yes, you heard that right. Our 38th president once graced the pages of fashion magazines. During World War II, Ford modeled for Cosmopolitan magazine. It's a fun fact, a glimpse into the man behind the presidential facade. Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, is known for his honesty, commitment to human rights, and tireless work for peace. But before all that, Carter claimed to have seen a UFO in 1969, literally. In Leary, Georgia, Carter and others saw a strange object in the sky. It changed color and moved erratically. Carter filed a report describing it as luminous and bluish. He maintained it was something unusual. So, remember, Carter looked to the stars and saw something extraordinary. So, we've talked about presidents who were painters, presidents who played music, even a president who modeled. And that brings us to Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States. Before politics, Reagan was a Hollywood actor, starring in over 50 films. He also worked as a lifeguard, saving 77 people. His acting career honed his communication skills, making him a natural leader. Reagan's charisma and ability to connect with people defined his presidency. He was often called the great communicator for his relatable speeches. So, you think you know George H.W. Bush, huh? Former World War II pilot, congressman, ambassador to the UN, head of the CIA, vice president, and finally, the 41st president of the United States. Quite the resume, right? But I bet you didn't have thrill-seeking skydiver on your George H.W. Bush bingo card. For his 75th, 80th, 85th, and even his 90th birthday, George H.W. Bush strapped on a parachute and took the plunge. It was a testament to his adventurous spirit, his zest for life, and his refusal to let age define him. George H.W. Bush may have been known for his political prowess, but his skydiving escapades revealed a whole other side to him. A side that was fearless, fun-loving, and maybe just a little bit crazy, and you know what? We kind of love him for it. Okay, so we all know Bill Clinton as the 42nd President of the United States, the guy who brought us peace and prosperity in the 90s. But did you know that before he was charming world leaders, he was charming audiences with his musical talents? That's right, Bill Clinton is a saxophonist. And not just any saxophonist, but one skilled enough to grace the stage of the Arsenio Hall show during his 1992 presidential campaign. Now, we've seen presidents play instruments before. Nixon had his piano, Truman was known to tickle the ivories. But there's something about a saxophone, you know? It's smooth, it's cool, it's Bill Clinton in the 90s. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. Clinton has been playing the sax since he was a teenager, even considering pursuing it professionally before politics came calling. I guess you could say he traded the sweet sounds of the saxophone for the sweet sound of, well, being the leader of the free world, music and politics. Clinton's saxophone playing wasn't just a fun fact, it was a strategic move. By appearing on Arsenio Hall, a show hugely popular with young African-American viewers, Clinton was able to connect with a demographic that might not have been easily reached through traditional campaign stops. And it worked. Clinton's performance was a hit, showing voters a different side of him, a more relatable side. He wasn't just a politician in a suit, he was a guy who could blow a mean sax. This wasn't just about winning votes though. Music was, and still is, a big part of Clinton's life. He's spoken about the joy it brings him, the way it allows him to relax and express himself. So the next time you think about Bill Clinton's legacy, don't just think about his policies or his speeches. Think about him jamming out on his sax, proving that even presidents have hidden talents. And sometimes, those talents can be pretty darn cool. Well, there you have it, folks. From skydiving presidents to saxophone-playing commanders-in-chief, we've journeyed through some of the weirdest, most wonderful facts about the leaders who've graced the Oval Office. It just goes to show that behind those serious faces and powerful positions, presidents are people too. They have hobbies, they have quirks, and sometimes, they even have hidden talents that would make even the most talented among us jealous. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these weird but true facts about US presidents, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content. See you next time.